Hello, Connie. How are you today?
Wonderful, Jerry. Good to see you. And
And there's,
welcome to our viewers. If you're first time with us, we're thrilled you're here. If you're returning, welcome back.
yes, welcome to Roadmap to Retirement, our video series. And we had a little hiatus there. Connie was off for a week with fighting the COVID fight. And glad that you're back and in good order. I'm excited
Great.
to get together.
Yes, I'm excited to
And
be here too.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and what are we going to talk about today?
Well, up on the agenda for today, Jerry, is life care planning. And I think we have mutually decided that that probably is a good first step for our folks that are on the precipice or edge of retirement planning, making sure they have those life care planning steps in order. From my end of things, it's some legal documents. And I think from your end of things, it's probably checking up and just making sure things are fine tuned. But that's what's on our agenda for today.
Sure. Well, what is life care planning and why is it important, Connie?
Well, in the legal world, a lot of my colleagues will call it disability planning, but I really prefer to call it life care planning, Jerry, because here's the thing is it's creating documents that are going to help you navigate a time that you might not be able to make decisions for yourself if you become incompetent, incapacitated, and business has to carry on or your healthcare has to carry on. You need documents that will allow someone to step into your shoes and do those. And those documents I call life care planning documents, and they're most commonly known as advanced directives and in Illinois, powers of attorney. So we have power of attorney for finances, durable power of attorney for property, and we have for healthcare, durable powers of attorney for healthcare. Both are critical. Both are absolutely important to have in place. Sometimes we get to the edge of retirement and we've skated through, right? We've skated through and we didn't have powers of attorney and it worked out okay because we stayed competent. As we continue to age, though, the odds are that rolling the dice is going to be pretty risky. So that's what I'm talking about from the legal side of things. How about you, Jerry? What are you helping folks with as they face this first road step?
You know, a good legal and legal protections are very important. I guess we deal with the aftermath more than anything. Um, when I say aftermath, not having a power of attorney or a directive, um, and someone is slightly impaired. We had one client that was in an automobile accident and had suffered a traumatic brain injury. And who's speaking for that person, and who's fostering for that person? Um, it was a very unusual situation, and I had to go through the process of getting someone to speak and provide on his behalf because he didn't have other folks to take care of him. As an agent, I'm powerless to induce the carrier to do anything. It's not legally possible. So through life, you'll find that there's some things that happen. Um, the other issue is with college kids that go away to school and something happens to them while they're at school. They can't just have mom and dad do things. Now they got to have a power, if I understand it right, to help with their medical issues. So, we have policies, but without the proper legal instruments to direct us how to use them, um, it's like a rudderless ship.
Exactly. And I think if I can, I'll get on my little soapbox for a minute because you kind of dovetailed into that generational planning concept. And in that regard, I know we're focusing on retirement here, but you're exactly right that once a child turns age 18, if they were to become incapacitated, an accident, an illness, or just going away from college and being really sick and needing mom or dad to help, they're legal adults. And so for someone to be able to talk for them and step into their shoes for healthcare decisions or financial paying bills and whatnot, they need powers of attorney as well. So, I was so passionate about that generational concept that
Sure.
when my son was my first child that turned 18, I did a little pizza power of attorney planning party for him and his friends' parents so they could really understand how important that is.
Sure.
So yeah, so our focus is okay, you're on the edge of retirement. But you are right. It's really that generational planning concept that once they become adults, any of us, if we're competent, do powers of attorney. Absolutely.
Yeah. The path that we navigate, I guess you try to prepare. I mean, we try to prepare our clients. I don't think people that are growing up think about this stuff, and it's till someone kind of hits them over the head with a 2x4 that they discover that they have to work on this. And I think it's most common that folks that are approaching retirement or are in retirement that start thinking about this, and maybe a little bit too late. Why is that preparation important, and what can you do if you don't have a plan?
Oh, excellent question. Basically, in order to create these documents that we're talking about, durable power of attorney for healthcare decision making and durable power of attorney for property for financial decision making, you have to be competent. So your question is exactly correct. What can we do if we've, reached retirement and we didn't do life care planning, and now we're not competent and we can't create that power of attorney for healthcare or that power of attorney for property and say who we want to step into our shoes and who we want to be a backup to them if they can't do it, and give them all those directions of our express wishes, what we want them to do for us. Well, here's the thing. Again, I'll bring my kids into this because there's a phrase they like to use around our house. It's called risky bisky. Well, failing to do powers of attorney while you're competent is risky bisky, because if you don't have them and now you're not competent, your family or someone else is probably going to end up going to guardianship court and petitioning for a guardian to be appointed in order to make decisions for you. So think about it. You've got a client, Jerry, at your office who is not competent, and there's some decisions that need to be made with their insurance policies or investments or whatnot. And you're like, I can't deal with them. And there's no power of attorney on file. And a child saying, well, mom or dad, this is what they want. And you're like, our legal department tells us you can't make the decisions. And so that child or someone else is going to have to go to court, which is stressful. It's expensive. And here's a big takeaway from it is that the person that ends up petitioning to become an individual's guardian, if they're not competent and don't have good powers of attorney in place, valid powers of attorney, may not be the person you would have picked, right? It could be someone else.
Yeah.
Families can fight and it can get really expensive. So again, risky bisky. If you're competent and you don't have a power of attorney in place, consider doing it before it's too late. And even if you have one, review it. Make sure it's appropriate as you go into those retirement years.
Yeah, that's what we see here. Some very unhappy folks when they have to go into guardianship. Obviously, some people pass on and without proper planning and executors appointed, not one that they elected. And I've seen an awful lot of familial stress in these situations just because of the question mark. I think father would like it this way. No, I think he wants it that way. And there's a number of things that can be done that really are not that difficult looking ahead on the insurance side. And I'm sure the same is true on the will, the estates, the powers, that sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, Jerry, that is a perfect topic for our next video is, okay, so now you've taken care of that life care planning piece. You're very much alive. What happens if you can't make decisions? We hope that your life care planning piece was a giant waste of time, because we want everyone to stay competent till their absolute last breath and never need those powers of attorney, right?
Correct.
But they're there just in case. Insurance, right?
Sure.
But that's a nice segue. I think you're right. Okay, so now you've taken care of your life care planning piece. What happens when you're no longer alive? Do you have things all in order? Do you have, if your plan is dependent on life insurance funding certain things for your family after you're gone, have you met with your life insurance agent, and is that all squared away? Do you need to make adjustments? And from my side of things, what legal documents do you need in place? Wills, trust, etc. I think it's a great topic for our next video series.
Excellent. Excellent. Looking forward to it. Well, until
So
next time, have a great
until
day,
next
everyone.
time. Yeah.